upon us and recall. The age of
Dragon. Greetings, my Dragon Knight, Dragonborn, and Dragon King. Like this Dragon Knight, Dragonborn, Dragon Sage, I think you get the memo. And as always, if you like what you saw, don't forget to drop a like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, and share. Well, also will help out. Also, this is my Elden Ring, the full Elden Ring review that as far as I'm aware of. I decided to hold this off for a bit. And from here throughout, this is just spoiler free, just for y'all who probably is still on the verge of probably playing the game or playing the DLC, which has come out a few weeks, and almost, at least right now while I'm editing this, it's almost a couple more days before the full release of Elden Ring, the DLC, the Shadow of the Earth Tree. Now, I have played this game before, and I have already done my own playthrough of this, like a couple times, and I already played this on the PS4 and the PS5 edition, so that way you know. And again, this is completely spoiler free, like I'm trying to say, and so that way you don't have to worry. And of course, like I said in my first impression videos, I do love the DLC and I do love this game very much, and I love both. And I know I gave the original, the base game, like a 7.5 out of 10, and to be perfectly honest, I thought that 7 was still, or 7.5, I forget what I said in my short review of Elden Ring. And that was just the base game, because at the exact same time, we didn't know that the DLC will come out. And I'll definitely get that in a little bit later in the video, and that's going to contain a little bit more into spoiler territory. So, like I said, right now this is just completely spoiler free, and even as you see right now, it's just mostly just me going running around killing some enemies. So a little bit spoilers, but not too spoilery. So yeah, but I have enjoyed both the base game and the DLC, and that's keeping this spoiler free. And I already, like I said, already done some live streams, and as you end up seeing probably like right about now, this is just mostly my previous streams that I have downloaded, which is like my Battle Mage. I'll definitely do up another Elden Ring live stream sometime, and probably do like a remaster of the build that I have done before, but have unique twists. And I know I've been kind of very late to making a review of the base game, but I'm actually glad that I decided to do that, because the DLC was on its way. And to be perfectly honest, I thought for a second it's going to be even better if it just, be the way it was, because of how open world it was. And even before then, it's their first open world. And it kind of gave me that vibe of like how they went back to the roots, like right around Demon Souls, for example. And that was like before, any DLC came out. And of course, then you got Dark Souls 1. And that came out with the DLC of Night Artorias. So, like I said, from these clips right here, it's just my previous streams that I have done that I downloaded and uploaded. And I'm just going ahead and say the base game, in my personal humble opinion, it's still worth fun playing through. And you're not, in my personal opinion, you're not basically not missing out as much. Unless you're kind of more into the story, then yeah, it's still like a little bit less story there in the base game. But the DLC kind of really kicked things off. And I have, enjoyed that one, even though I'm still still pretty salty right after the first boss. Well, technically not the first boss, maybe the third boss. No, at least the entire series, the entire DLC, which I have done blind, and I did on patch, or day 1 patch, which was rough. But again, just save that for another time. But for the main story right here, through and through, I think you might enjoy it a little bit more. And I noticed about some of the mechanics that they decided to throw in here. I think it's just wonderful addition just to have. And an awesome addition as well from the previous Souls games. Even like Sekiro, Bloodborne, Demon Souls, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, even Armor Core. Well, unless you really want to call that on that one, but or it's its own thing, you know. I'll leave it up to you. But in general, let me tell you, they really cooked. Even from the base game, I was still really impressed at how much they implied. Even though some of it I felt kind of a little bit basic, because I just didn't see much, at least there at the beginning. So it was just kind of like really cool. The bosses are still fun, except for I still hate Millennia. I'm sorry, but she is a bad boss. And I can say that for a fact. It took me 5 tries on the PS5 edition. Now with randoms, with summons, and like I said, and I already did like, oh, it's, you know, DLC's hard. I already said it. Even Miyazaki said, you know, that he posted that, yeah, he uses his summons. If you want to use summons, go ahead and do that. And if you also wanted to do, you know, challenge yourself, you can also do that. But, you know, be respectful. And I know about some challenges are here and there. Sorry. But I don't consider Millennia as a hard boss anymore. Even right after the DLC. Which, I'll probably end up showing that in the spoilers. Because I know, like I said, this is still like a DLC that's still, you know, that's still relatively new. And there are those who are still trying to pass on. But yeah, even though I gotta say for myself, I do not like Millennia. Even after the DLC, I do not consider it as a hard boss. And yes, there are different endings, even though there are some other different same different Elden Lord endings, and there's a star ending, all stars ending, and of course a frenzy ending, which I actually did because if you want that platinum, you're gonna have to do it that way. So, but yeah, for me, I think, in my personal opinion, I think you probably will like, if you definitely can say, if I can say in general, I think you will definitely like the base game, and I think it's also more fun just to do, even right after you beat the DLC. And there is some other bosses I do like, and I can definitely say if I can put at least the base game in general, if you can ask me, if you're going to do this like base game, you can definitely platinum it on your first playthrough if you kind of look up a guide and stuff. Now, of course, there is some like really good litters of like spells, but luckily it's not like how it was in Dark Souls 1, 2, and definitely 3, which is you gotta collect all pyromancies, all miracles, all hexes, and all sorceries and stuff like that, which was very helpful, I gotta say. Now the legendaries, you may have to, like I said, watch a guide just to get through that, just to see what else you are missing. But if you're a full completionist, and even though you got through all the platinum trophies, and you're wanting to get everything, you can definitely do that. And thanks to Draco the Dragon 2424, video in the description below, he has helped me. And luckily with my PS4 edition, I had to go to New Game Plus just to platinum it. But now on the PS5, luckily I know how to do, because I played this game so many bloody times, and I had to put like a lot of hours to it. Then yeah, I can definitely say for myself, it is easier now. But again, if you want everything, depending on where your playthrough is, you may have to go into New Game Plus. All right, so that being said, if I didn't put up a timestamp now, I'm probably gonna go ahead and put it up a timestamp now. This is spoilers from here on out. All right. So, probably from wherever you're watching now, it's spoilers. I'm going ahead and talk about the DLC. Alright, I think now we are in the spoiler territory, and probably from here on out is the clips that I already done. And if you already watched my live stream of the DLC, then you already know my spoilers. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and say this right now. I am glad I done this blindly, and yes, I got my ass handed to me, and I am happy to simply say that most of the other times of this was really good, and even some of the characters and side quests and a lot of others, stuff here that you could probably end up seeing, in my personal opinion, is just more fun and really awesome. So again, you have every right to click off, but again, this is spoiler territory from here on out. So I did my best just to make sure all of my clips I have is all selected, and if whatever time that you're seeing from here on out, I think it's personally best just some say of why I kind of hold this off for one, and two, how much that I needed time and all of the characters and stuff. And even though I did most of the other side questing and stuff offline, I still enjoyed this. And there is like some like cool like special moments in my live streams I actually have done as well, and how much that FromSoft really cooked. If I could put this in like one major sentence of like how big this DLC is, it's definitely like an expansion from basically like Skyrim, mostly like Skyrim, but like the Dongar DLC wise. It's the best way I can say it, or maybe even lesser because of the mass. But it's like 7 engraves into one big sandwich, or separate sandwiches, because it's just so amazing. Like Mesmer, the not Saint Trina, but yeah, Saint Trina, the knight, the boss that's guarding, Saint Trina. Then you also don't forget Gygas, even though I hate that damn boss, the Oblivion. Oh, that just annoys the fuck out of me. And here, even this one, which is like, the Evergels. I know it's like gals, but we also notice about how these quote-unquote saints rebirth, shall we say. This is just air quotes using. And it's just how much the story that's kind of been missing out, and I can see why they kind of mostly like left things out. Even Mesmer's, I felt really bad for Mesmer. And how you, depending on how you look with America from here on out, it's its own unique thing, and I can't say that enough. And how much love that they put into here, and day one patch was needed, a lot of patches, and as much like the perfumer bottles, and there's that Swift that you probably end up, mostly saw, at least beginning. I know like Only Waifu, and how much Only Waifu, and I think Ouroboros, Fire PL, like these PvPers did mention, hey, FromSoft, please patch this because it's basically broken. And of course, cheesers will gonna be cheesers. But I'm glad they kind of heard and actually listened, which was a surprise. GG from you, FromSoft. Literally, that is a major surprise. So, but yeah, from all I gotta really say is the lore behind why America did her own thing and why she kind of have her own, why she was hiding this. That's, you gotta look at from all angles from here, and honestly, I can see why America was like hiding away her past because of the trauma, but yet she also didn't rise above her own, and why she became a god in her own way. But even Milkula, that basically you had to start. Even that DLC, like how you start this DLC, you gotta fight Rodon and Moog. And why Moog had to die, which is very twisted of Milkula. And how much I felt bad, for Saint Trina as well. So, but yeah, and for my own self, I know probably like Vativia is gonna probably do his own videos about, character card edition. And of course, the legend himself let me solo her. And I did forget to mention, because I did want to, post that. Hold this off just for this because of that. Oh, before I forget, there is a sponsor segment right about now. Thank you to Dubby. As always, use my code DragonFam94 to give 20% off. And of course, I always like to thank Dubby for my daily stuff. And as you all can see right here in the lineup, there's really excellent stuff right here that you can at least try out or taste. And of course, there's a lot of other stuff on here as well. Again, just want to thank Dubby for sponsoring today's video. And as always, I hope that you at least enjoy. Don't forget, use my code DragonFam94, 20% off. And while I make a little bit more on the side, thank you again, Dubby Energy. So, as much as thank you to Dubby, as always, and even right now, you probably end up seeing is like, I believe it's like the first boss, so, which you have to do, and in my blind let's play of this DLC, I went to endgame. That's what I love about this, and of course, even it's the Moon Knight, Twin Moon Knight, as you probably end up seeing on screen. She can definitely wreck you. And there is some little bit implemented in here, which is seduce, where, the picture I end up seeing, like, right now, is basically what you need. Back then, when day 1 patch came out, it was, like, really difficult. And you had to explore, and why I said, like, in that, in my first impression video, is because most of the time you have to explore. They want you to explore. You cannot just steamroll this, this DLC and think you can just be carried. It's an alternate universe, and why Miyazaki did. And I know there has been, like, a lot of videos, and why I was kind of holding this off, because at the second time, when I released that video, it was still out and it was still new. Even still now, still new. Almost about a month left now. So, and this is why I definitely think it's definitely good in the right direction from here on out, and why I'm excited. And yes, as much as I'm scared, because as I said this before too, it's just because I'm scared what's going to happen next because of the patches. And lately, there is still like that little bit nugget of doubt that they're going still, probably some developers going to cave in a bit more and just, lower difficulty just for these people that want to steamroll this game. And yes, I know they're probably just, out there, and they're already been, filtered out as most, which I'm grateful, but, there's still a little bit more stuff here that I think it might be good. And most of these bosses took me like mostly like 1 to 5 tries. Even like the final boss, is just really excellent. Oh, and by the way, here is a funny moment that I decided to put in here just for y'all entertainment. And yes, I did lower the volume because I was screaming into my mic, and I don't think you all want to hear me screaming in my mic. So yeah, here you go. Here's a funny moment from my live stream.
Beat you in 3! What's my fucking name? What's my fucking name? What's my fucking name?
So yeah, I think I have lowered that just for y'all, because I don't think you all want me screaming in your ears or in your, headset or wherever the case is. So yeah, and here is another spoiler of my reaction of the final DLC boss, which I kind of figured out even before when things were kind of rioting, but yeah, here is my reaction to the final boss as well. Okay.
My loyal blade and champion of the festival. Both your deeds will ever be praised in song. Now, the vow will be honored, and my lord brother's soul will return, so that he may be my consort.
Hello, Radon! It's good to see you! Ah! The music is cool! And that is Rodon, prime soul of Rodon, before he got skyrotted into Mohg's body, to be the promised consort of Nicola for the Age of Companionship. Even though Nicola did it very wrongly, in my opinion. And I think it just fairly shows and stuff. And how much love that they did. And even if you were watching my live stream, you know, while I was fighting him, it took me 15 damn tries. And all I had to do was put a video and... Well, I didn't put a video. I watched a video and I had to follow it through. And I beat him on my 15th try. And it was like right after... after I was done. Because Prime Rodon on day 1 patch, I can say for myself, is more harder than Millennia. Even on PS5. And why I can literally say Millennia is not a good boss. Because, at least in my personal opinion, she's just way too aggressive. People love their simp rotten mommy, which is really annoying to me. Because here's a better bosses. Prime Rodon, this one. Rain. Knight Artorias, Sith, even though he was a good boy. Madness. Orphan of Kos, and any others before Millennia was at least a little bit better. And I just name a few. And what does Millennia do? Oh, okay, yeah, she heals. Okay, that's fine. You know, she can have her credit, but she doesn't have to be so damn aggressive. And I know that's probably everybody's lovely waifu and love Scarlet Rot Mommy to death. But I can literally say for myself now, Prime Rodon was better than Millennia. And this was on patch 1, on day 1 patch. And let me tell you, he whooped my ass. Until I officially got good, and I have all the way up to 17 Caduceus Tree fragments. Even though I still need to work on a little bit more of my Ash blessings. And of course, and as you probably end up seeing probably right now, is through of each time Nicola put down his stuff and why he abandoned it, but it's always his heart was in the right spot, but how his actions really done, it really didn't show really good, and it just shows that he followed the sins of the mother and how that really let down. Even Gaia Gus, or Commander Gus, that was the commander right under Mercer the Impaler, and about their lore between, you know, when Rodon was studying, you know, gravity magic and how much they were together, you know, they gave us the very good lore here and there, which is really, really, really cool. And it's just, the thing is for me too, this is like probably like their swan song of the game, because they felt like it's been completed now. They've done everything here. And honestly, I can understand why, you know, they felt like they done everything, even though like how Breath of the Wild, no, excuse me, Tears of the Kingdom, and I'm going to go ahead and make a comparison here and Tears of the Kingdom. I gotta say, at least FromSoft did their best and they delivered, and it did better than Tears of the Kingdom. Because Tears of the Kingdom, it just felt like they chose the latter and chose it really safe. And I'll definitely do that in a video review another day and another time. So from here, and I think there's been like a little bit less plot lines, and hopefully they can probably patch in, or maybe just give a little bit more, because Godwin, he's in the DLC, as you've probably seen like what he looks like. But the problem is, what does Godwin be in this DLC? I think there's like a little bit mystery right there, I gotta say for myself. But hopefully they can, in my personal opinion, just to finish off or tie down that loose thread. Maybe maybe it's just up to us. So, and apparently this is George R.R. Martin's, probably thing, which was really cool. But for me, I gotta say, I do love this DLC, and I think you will go and love the DLC too. And with the patches right after, day 1 patch, and I did this offline, and yes, I used my summon, which is my mimic tier, which helped out a lot. I think you're going to like this right after, the previous patches. So, I can say for myself, I think you'll go enjoy. And there is some bosses that did, at least on day 1 patch, do need a little bit of rework, which was good. And as you probably end up seeing right now, which is Commander Gus. So yeah, I think you're going to enjoy this DLC, in my personal opinion. So, and then I probably, if I did, I would probably like, okay, just for those, what do you think? What do I give this rating of then? It's probably in the very beginning. And as you probably end up seeing, it was like my trophy short that I decided to put on. And I think it's good. I think it deserves, in my personal opinion, a 9 out of 10. There is still some little bit of reworks, but I think it's just FromSoft's usual. So, in my personal Dragon rating of the DLC and the Elden Ring, I definitely can say give this game my personal Dragon rating as a whole in general. And as far as I know, there is no trophies right now. Hopefully they still keep it that way because I enjoyed it the way it was. So anyways, I definitely give this game my personal rating of Hoard It. Now, before I do go and did all my stuff, as always, I think the graphics are very good, and even though on the PS5, but there is still like a little bit of problems. I think they're still kind of working on the frames or the issues, but now lately, as far as I know, at least when this was the first thing happened, you could just, instantly be summoned, and it was really hard, but now they kind of patched that out. And I kind of noticed a frame rate, but it's only on PC, or at least the performance. It's still probably working out a little bit. And of course, I want to give some major, special shout outs. As always, the legend himself, let me solo her, Demon Mama, Vati Video, Oroboro Oro, Vati Video, and then definitely Fire PL. And those are just my original ones. I can at least say for myself. And Only Waifu as well. I almost forgot about, Only Waifu and about their channel and about their content as about some exploits and stuff like this and that. And definitely, I want to at least, give some major welcome, special shout outs. And one of them is definitely Draco the Dragon 2424. His video is in the link description below, and as much, I'll probably end up linking all the special mentions in the link description below. So as always, if you liked what you saw, don't forget to drop a like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, and definitely share. And I'll hopefully see y'all in the next probably game review or video let's play, wherever the case is. So as always, my Dragon Knights, Dragonborns, and Dragonkin, this is Dragon Knight, Dragonborn, Dragon Sage, signing out. Have a good one. My Dragon Knights, Dragonborns, and Dragonkin and the like. And hopefully, even probably after a month, hopefully that you at least play the DLC either on PC or the consoles. And there is a mod of the seamless co-op, which I almost forgot to mention, but I'm going to go ahead and mention it here. So as always, my Dragon Knights, Dragonborns, and Dragonkin, this is Dragon Knight, Dragonborn, Dragon Sage, signing out. Have a good one. My Dragon Knights, Dragonborns, and Dragonkin and like. And I do apologize, this was a very little bit late review of base game, but also kind of holding off for the main game. As always, farewell for now.